Recently, I was on a ride with a few friends, heading out for a couple of days of camping and motorcycle fun. We, of course, were mic'd up through our Cardo Edge and Pack Talk units, and one of the topics of conversation was, why don't we own Harleys? There were four of us heading out to camp, one riding a Goldwing, one an Indian Challenger, another a Victory Vision with 130,000 miles, and of course me on my Triumph Tiger 1200. In thinking about this, there are two paths that I can take in order to answer this question. First, HD does not make any bikes that appeal to me. I did spend 10 years riding a touring cruiser in the form of the Victory Vision, but my original intent was to buy a Honda Goldwing. When the Vision came out, I was one of the few, only about 8,000 Visions were sold, who found the wild Art Deco streamlined design refreshing and avant-garde. I also found it was the only bike I tried, including Harleys and Hondas, that felt comfortable right out of the box. At the time, back in 2008 and 2009, Harley-Davidson had not come out with the Rushmore updates, and I just did not like the mixed decade look of the pre-2012 models. I also was not a fan of the Harley Shake. Again, I know this is considered one of their appealing quirks, but for me, it's just not what I'm interested in. The other path keeping me from buying a Harley, and one echoed by my riding mates, is that they come with too much baggage. That is, there are too many cultural and lifestyle things that seem to go along with Harley ownership. I am just not a brand loyal guy. I greatly enjoy my Triumph Tiger, but it is the quality and performance of the bike that I focus on, not the name or history of the brand. I am loyal to a company that builds a great motorcycle and supports me when or if I have issues. Sure, I do own a few t-shirts just for fun, but the value in a product is how it brings enjoyment into my life, not in marketing slogans, logos, or the brand itself. Which brings me to the second thing, brand heritage. I just don't get why it matters that a company has been in business 100 years or 20 years. Yes, I want to buy from a company that has established a network of dealers and a supply chain for their accessories and replacement parts. But does it really matter if Company A has been doing it longer than Company B? Even companies like Harley have gone through several iterations, being sold in 1969 to AMF and then purchased by a group of investors with ties to the original HD family in 1981. Like Polaris claiming roots going back to the original Hindi manufacturing company, this is really just marketing spin. For me, this focus on brand lineage leads to staleness and lack of innovation. Harley's own loyal customers often resist change in design and engineering that they consider to be not in line with Harley-Davidson canon. HD owners often complain about the lack of affordable entry-level bikes, but when the motor company has tried, such as with the 500 and 750 street models, sales fall flat. The heritage thing is a two-edged sword. Another bit of baggage is the unwritten requirements for attire. We all know there is a certain look that comes along with owning a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. While this is certainly not uniform, there is a dominant form of dress and conformity that again is just not for me. I mean, come on, have you noticed my glasses, hats, and facial hair? While I support individual freedom, I also am not a fan of riding in less than protective attire like jeans, t-shirts, work boots, and half helmets. I'm not saying I have not done those things, I certainly have, but I have grown in my outlook toward protective gear. And about loud pipes and revving engines, well, I'm just not gonna say anything. As of late, not only do you need to dress the part, but it seems you also need to think in a specific way and hold particular political views. Each to his own, but for me, motorcycling is my playtime. It brings me joy. Why would I bring something as ugly as politics into my playtime? Now at this point, I know many of you are already commenting away and telling me to F off. But I am painting with a broad brush and pointing out all of these things to make a point. All of these things I have mentioned are nothing more than my opinions and personal preferences. No one should give a shit what I think. Each one of the things I don't like about Harley Davidson culture are the exact things that many folks find attractive about owning a Harley. You know what? That's absolutely cool with me. Many of us spend far too much time worrying about what other people think, how they live their lives, and getting outraged about the differences. It is easy to point a finger at those we disagree with, but it is much harder to look into the mirror with a critical eye towards our own actions. Motorcycling, just like our nation, is a mix of individuals from all walks of life, and we have a wide range of likes and dislikes. Some love cruisers, some like adventure bikes, some like sport bikes. There is a place for everyone. Too often we seem to forget this when dealing with each other. Of course, I am not just speaking about motorcycling. Today, our world seems to be driven by anger and fear. The anger and fear with each other, fomented by those seeking power. In a nation of more than 300 million people, it is just not possible for everyone to agree on everything. But rather than trying to force our personal values and beliefs on others, we should be finding ways where everyone can at least have the opportunity to live the life that they see fit. In today's world, we are governed by the extremes. Social media algorithms promote things that piss us off. The news media no longer reports what happened, but rather gives us opinion. And of course, the dominant political parties thrive by making us fear our neighbors. Without the anger, hate, and fear of the other side, they really have nothing to offer us. I may have my opinions and personal preferences about motorcycles and how I choose to ride, but that does not mean that riders who choose other ways to enjoy two wheels have any effect on my life. The only way they do is when I choose to give their actions power over my thoughts. Controlling my focus is not always easy, especially in this election year, and I sometimes succumb to the negativity that I hear just like everybody else. Yes, prices have gone up and there are bad things going on in the world, just like there always are. However, when I take stock, the last few years have been some of the best of my life. Why? Not because of who has been in the White House or how well the stock market is doing, but because I have changed my outlook on life. No longer do I worry about how other people live their lives. As I have said before, people do a lot of things I think are dumb. But the truth is that very little of that really affects my life. Over the last few years, when everyone has been running around screaming about the sky falling, I spent 60 days on the road in 2019, again in 2022, and this year in 2024, I rode to Alaska for the second time. Every day during these tough times, the sun rose, the birds sang, and life was good. There are no bad days. Every day above ground is a good one. Stop worrying about how everyone is violating your personal morals and just be a good person. Stop worrying about the sky falling and see the beauty all around you. Change your outlook and change the world. Ride safe, my friends, and keep squeezing your lemon.